Happy Sunday to you all. If you are a Christian, I think you are going to church and you are preparing to go to church. Of course, I am a Christian. As you can see, I'm already prepared. I'm going to church. But you know what? I'm not going to church to pray against blood-sucking demon, because I know that the blood-sucking demon that you pray against on the road are not really visible as you think. They are the government officials who refuse to fix your roads. The blood-sucking demons are the system of government who refuse to checkmate the vehicles that are on the road. They don't know whether the vehicles are suitable for roads, but they leave everything to the detriment of the poor people. However, their own vehicles is going to, checks every time to make sure that they themselves will not have the accident you are praying against. You know what? They themselves are not praying against accident. I'm not saying that God is not the protector. Of course, God is the protector. God protects everyone. But God has given man power to make sure you organize your thing. So if you are still going to church to pray against what government is supposed to do for you, I think you are playing in a hard time. Of course, I'm a Christian. I'm going to church, but I'm not going to church to pray for God to continue to provide your daily food every day when you have hands, you have legs, and you have government who are supposed to fight insecurity. Let me tell you, God is not going to remove those Fulani bandits in your bush. God is not going to do that, because God has given you dominion. God has given you power to do what you ought to do. So if your government and your people did not do that, forget about it. You see the reason why so many people think that God doesn't exist today. It is because people who goes to church are always calling God on everything. Even what they are supposed to do by themselves, they will continue to call God. Where is God? God has given you power on earth. God will not do what you are supposed to do for yourself. So don't call God where there is no God. Don't call God where God is not supposed to show up. Call God when you need God. Call God where you are supposed to call God. After all, when I'm reading my Bible, one of the commandments is that don't call the name of God in vain. But Nigerians, especially the Christians, are fond of calling the name of God in vain. God, I want to do this. God, I want to do that. God, I want to sleep. God, I want to wake up. Stop calling God on the things that you ought to do for yourself. God is not your mate. We are calling God in vain. Call your politicians, call your councillor, call your local government chairman, call your House of Assembly in the state, call your House of Rep who is going to Abuja for you, call your Senate, call President Tinubu. These are the people that are holding you to ransom. Most of the prayer points we are leading in the church has nothing to do with God, has nothing to do with devil. We go to church, we continue to pray every time. And the question is, if our prayer is working, why is it that our country is like this? Do you think that we have a God that does not listen to prayers? Yes, of course, we have a God that listens to prayer. God hears prayer. But if God hears prayer, why is it that every prayer we have been praying, it seems that there is no God? It is because we don't know what we are doing. We are just going to church to pray, to say things that we are not supposed to say. It is time for you to begin to emancipate yourself. That the God you think exists, God does not exist in the way you think that he exists. That is why you can't convince people that God exists, because what you are doing, you don't have the proof that God exists, because you are serving God in a wrong way. Nigerians are fond of serving God in a wrong way. But you know what? The narrative must change, because if you continue to do something and it didn't give you a good result, you have to change the way you are doing something. Before you call God, call your politicians. God have given you dominion. God have given you power. You see, if you are a Christian and you read your Bible, you must have seen in Genesis 1:27 where God says, let us make man in our own image and let us give them dominion. He didn't say, let us take dominion. He said, let them take dominion. You have the dominion. Fight for yourself. Fight for your people. God will never come to fight for you when you are supposed to fight for yourself. Of course, I'm a Christian. I'm going to church to pray. But I'm not going to pray against hunger, because prayer does not stop hunger. Prayer does not stop hunger. Prayer does not stop sickness that comes from hunger. People are praying for healing. I know that God healed it. I am not doubting the ability of God, I know that God is the omnipotent. I know that God is invisible. I believe in God. But you know what? I do not believe that God is coming to stop that hunger. I do not believe that the reason why people did not plant this year is the bandits, and you are expecting God to come and supply food for you. Manna will not rain down from heaven. If manna had rained down before, I don't know whether it is true or whether it is a story, but manna is not going to rain down. So if you are believing that God is going to supply you food, God is going to provide you food, you will die hunger. And that is why you can see today, report have shown that so many people from the northern part of the country, they are now dying of hunger today. And these are children. Is God wicked? No, absolutely, God is not wicked. God is not wicked, but we human beings, we are wicked. And it seems that we are coward by believing that God will come to do what we are supposed to do for ourselves. It is time for us to begin to think outside the box. If you are going to church, know what you are going to church to do. Are you going to church to beg God, please, my family don't have food, my family don't have what to eat? And you see somebody who is embezzling your money, somebody who is representing you, somebody who is making sure that the dividend of democracy can never get to you. A country that God has blessed with natural resources and everything, and you are going to church to pray, God, please, I need your blessing. I need your blessing. I want you to bless me. Has God not blessed you? Do you know what it means to come from this geographical area called Nigeria? The natural resources, the oil, the gold. What kind of blessing do you need? What kind of blessing do you need? Tinubu has taken away the blessing. It is not the devil. Stop fighting the devil unnecessarily. You know, I'm not defending the devil, but you know the devil. The devil is not invisible that you begin to pray, you begin to cast, die by fire. If the devil want to die by fire, the prayers we have prayed so far is supposed to kill the devil. But why is the devil not dying? Because the devil you are praying against does not exist. I do not say that there is no devil. Yes, there is devil. But that particular one you are praying against does not exist. The devil you have today, it is your governor, it is your president, it is your politicians who are making sure that you will not prosper. And when you see them, you know what you are going to do? Hey, my leader, your leader will kill you there. Because you people, you don't want to reason. Your leader will kill you there. When you come to church, you see your pastor, hey, your pastor is not telling you the truth. If your pastor is telling you the truth, you will not come out and begin to, do as if you have never known anything about God. Yes, we do as if we don't know God. And I think God will be laughing at us. God will be laughing with so many of Nigerians. God will be laughing at us because it seems that we are not using our brain. It seems that God have created brain on our head and the brain is like useless. If the brain is not useless, emancipate yourself, leave the devil and God factor. That is religion that they have used to brainwash us. Leave it alone and embrace the reality. The reality is that we have the ability, we have the power, we have the authority to do for ourselves what we have been praying for. So many of you who are in Nigeria praying for so many things, ask your brother in Canada whether they are praying against blood-sucking demons. Ask your brother in Canada when he pray against, demons or all those things. Ask your brother in America. Ask your brother in part of Europe. You need to wake up. Wake up from your slumber. See, if you do not fight for yourself and for your generation, now your children will still come tomorrow and begin to fight it. Stop praying unnecessarily and go to church in peace. Happy Sunday.
I